So in the past couple of years, I was trying to improve my art in a very serious way. And I tried so many ways, but some of the ways that really worked for me are those that you would not expect. I am also surprised because this is a very new understanding of creativity and art. And I'm going to give you all these exercises that I've done and I incorporated in my routine that helped me really get better at drawing without having to be frustrated by long hours of just drawing forever. So the first thing that I incorporated in my art routine was to draw circles. I mean, as redundant as it sounds, it's actually going to improve your art. I mean, your drawing is going to look professional because you need to really work on the basics. And the basic is paying close attention to your line drawings and your line art. And that only comes if you incorporate this tiny habit into your routine. And it's not gonna really take you as much time because think about it. If you do this for 5 minutes every day, your lines are gonna be phenomenal after a while. I mean, I can vouch for that. And something that you need to be cautious about is drawing from the entire arm, like moving your entire shoulder. And doing that because you want to get into the habit of drawing with your entire arm because it has bigger movements and all of that. I talked about it in another video, so you can watch that. What you need to do is to actually connect that with your line drawings, with your circle drawings, and you're doing two exercises at the same time, which is gonna speed up the process and your lines are gonna improve exponentially. So that is only one exercise. The next exercise that is a pretty quick change that you can do to your practicing is drawing with pen, not with pencil, because it eliminates the parts that you want to actually erase. And without erasing, you're gonna have this mindset of just going into it, not seeing the mistakes, but seeing the potential in your drawing. And trust me when I say that this is a game changer because I've been there. And some other skills that we do not really talk about so much, but it's crucial to our drawing habit and our artistic ability is the skill of observation. Observation is only going to come to you if you're curious about the world around you, if you're curious about how things work. So when you're watching a movie, don't just watch the movie because you want to be entertained. Watch it and also study the whole structure, every object that you come across. So for example, when I am watching a movie, I am looking at every face and analyzing. I love looking at the way light hits the object and the way it reflects upon it and the way those cinematic movies work. Like, that is my game. I love photography, I love videography, I love everything that is related to the appearance of things. And that is what inspires me to draw more. And so this even works on my inspirations and my motivation to draw. And it's not just to improve your observational skill, it's also to improve your motivation, because I know that if you don't have enough inspirations and motivations for drawing, then you're gonna feel like your drawing is not gonna look good. Something else that I do is to listen to some sort of fictional podcast and just listen to the way they describe their characters and try to capture those character traits in the appearance of my character. So it might not be that, easy for you to do this, but it's gonna challenge your mind so that you thinking about those things when you're drawing your own characters as well. So this is a very good exercise. You should just listen to some podcast or some fictional stories that are talking about a character, and you can draw that character by your own imagination, which is going to help you a lot if you're drawing for comic books or for mangas. It's always very beneficial when we see the story in our character. Try to capture the story in the way you are expressing your lines when you're drawing, and try to really add expressions to your characters, not just such a robotic sort of character drawing, but try to add a lot of expressions and a lot of gestures to your character so that you're building up that muscle of just having a little bit of movement to your character, a little bit of story, and just working toward making better stories in your characters. And my understanding of creative work is that you don't really need to spend a lot of time on drawing. Mostly what you need to do is to just dedicate maybe 4 hours of your entire day to drawing, and then all of the other hours, like you can take a walk, you can watch a favorite show of yours, and try to really study the art of other people, and also attending to your hobbies. So something that I never thought would help was actually getting into baking and cooking. And I know that it doesn't even make sense, but I somehow got better at drawing and got more creative in my thinking when I was drawing, when I actually started to get better at baking and cooking. So what happened that got me into cooking and baking was the fact that I wanted my meals to be healthy, and so everything that other people would bake for me would be full of unhealthy ingredients. So I wanted to change that. I started to cook, I started to bake, and as I started to learn baking and get better at it, I started to get rid of all the recipes that I have and just go all in with my own imagination and my own creativity, and just add whatever works for me. So every recipe that I came across, I would just replace the sugar for dates, and that was the game changer for me. These sort of cooking tricks and these sort of solutions that I came up with when I was baking, it really got my brain into an active mode and into thinking independently, and not just being rigid and stiff in your thinking and not really seeing any other ways of doing things, which happens to you if you limit yourself to certain type of activities, like dedicating the entire day to drawing and not doing anything else. That might seem like it's gonna work, but it doesn't work, because creativity is borrowing certain elements from other areas of creativity. So like creativity has so many areas in them. If you allow yourself to explore the wide range of creativity, then your well of creativity is gonna expand. And so doing something that you're more comfortable with is gonna help you get better at something that you're not comfortable with. For example, if you want to get better at faces and you're not really good at it, but you love other things, like you love drawing the background, you love drawing trees, you can like look at the face drawing by just imagining that you're drawing the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like the fundamentals are the same, and you can just draw by looking at the fundamentals and not really getting so caught up in the whole picture. I mean, at least that's what I do. I am really comfortable with drawing lines. That is what I did to become better at drawing characters. And so what I'm gonna do is to apply the same thing to drawing the background or drawing a landscape. I could just apply the same thing to that. And it's funny because most of the things that I am actually doing to improve my drawing is the same thing that I do for other stuff. Like when I wanted to get better at French, I started to watch a lot of videos about cooking and baking. And then I got really interested in French because I was like just exploring my hobbies, and what's not good about that, right? It's just the same pattern that goes through my entire learning journey. It's like it doesn't even matter what I'm learning. As long as I'm learning something, I'm going to apply these rules to it so that I can make it more enjoyable and easier for me. And when it comes to art, I really love the idea of feel-good productivity, which is like the basis of art. If you don't feel good, you're not gonna feel creative at all. It's a concept that I heard the YouTuber Ali Abdul talks about, and it's actually nothing new to me, because in the entirety of my life, I always search for ways that I can make things more enjoyable and creative. And it's kind of the same thing as 80-20 principle, because you are seeing and understanding that your work is only going to be productive if you're leading to the desirable results. And if 80% of your time has been wasted by just like trying to search for ideas, then it's wasted, like it's not work. You've not done any work. And so what you need to start doing to improve your art is to look at your art as something that really needs just a couple of hours to work upon. And this is probably what I am feeling guilty of, because I would just spend a lot of time on drawing. I'm only now understanding that none of those hours are actually useful. If I just spend one straight hour and really plan out everything and really sit down at my desk with a head full of ideas, then it's gonna be done in less than an hour. I am promising you, because it's just that we don't really plan out what we're gonna do. We don't feed our brain ideas, and we don't spend time on other activities that refuel our brain so that we can have that 1 hour of focus on our drawing. It's just that we might forget to do that, so like really reminding yourself of it really helps. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that I can see you in the next video. Have a nice week.